So what we're going to do now is to actually add on seam allowance onto your pattern, and the tools that I'm going to be using for this are your pattern master and just your click pencil. Now your pattern master will become your best friend. When you're pattern drafting, it becomes your third hand. You just can't work without it. And what we're going to do, we're going to use the 1 centimetre markings on here, which are straight down there, also around the edge and also inside here. I personally prefer a 1 centimetre seam allowance because it's so easy to add seam allowance, but you can also get these in inches as well, and you can add anything you want as long as you keep the same measurements. But you'll see how easy this is now for adding 1 centimetre on. So this is your front bodice, and we're going to add 1 centimetre around the whole thing to demonstrate how easy it is. So we will do a nice straight seam allowance across the top here. We don't need to add it on the front, but we will extend that slightly each end. We will add it onto the bottom where you've got your darts. And then onto your side seam. And you just move it ever so slightly as you go to get that finish that you need. And now we're going to do the curve, so I may need to just move this down slightly. And then you can use the inside of the curve, and this is what is brilliant about the Pattern Master, is being able to add that centimetre seam allowance onto these curves, which are not going to be exactly the same as a set part on your curve, but you just move it with you to create that seam allowance. Again, you can flip it over as well. And you just move it as you need it. And that is how easy it is to add your seam allowance the whole way around. Nice and consistent, nice and equal. And the last thing I would do is just extend your darts into your seam allowance, so you know where to cut the notches. Extend these notches into your seam allowance, and the same down here. And your pattern piece is ready to be cut out. You're good to go.